I'm Nick Kosir, weatherman at KMVT for Rise and Shine Morning Show.
Cool. And so how did you get here? Because I know you, obviously this isn't your first job in the industry.
Yeah, I started at a small station, actually smaller than KMVT in Ohio. Started as a reporter right out of college. I was really bad at reporting, and I realized that after about my second day. So after a year, my boss said, listen, our weather girl got a new job, so either you take the weather job or you're done reporting because you're terrible. So I was like, I'll take the weather job.
Yeah, sure.
So I did that, and after a couple days doing that, I realized I was good at doing the weather. So I said, I enjoy this. You know, it's a lot of fun. It's cool to be informative and lighthearted. So I decided I would pursue it. Started taking online classes, getting my meteorology.
Why were you a lousy reporter?
I'm not into news.
Okay.
I'm not into news, and I didn't realize that when you work in this business, you have to live it. You know, news never stops, and I think my problem was I would do the work and then be done with it. I wouldn't go home and watch news and brush up on stuff over the weekend and read the newspaper. You know, because I did realize that I've always had a fascination with weather, and I bring it home with me. I brush up on it, so that's why being in weather works a lot better.
Because you care.
I care, exactly. That's the bottom line. I care.
Yeah, I got it.
You know, I've never actually had somebody physically sit me down and show me how to forecast. So I had to learn a lot on my own. Mm-hmm. A lot of it's online, poking around, making a forecast, having it be terrible, and then...
And so you do that, or because I think a lot of people, I know I did, had the impression like, no, the National Weather Service just sends the stuff to you guys, and all you got to do is read it.
Yeah, I wish.
Like a personal philosophy or some core values, some things that you go back to, where it's like, okay, this is who I am, this is what I'm about, this is what's important to me.
I don't know. I'm kind of trying to find myself right now, actually, but I always just. It's kind of cliche or whatever, but you know, just treat people how you want to be treated. I never try to attack somebody, you know. But if someone's giving me a hard time, then you know you have to stand up for yourself. Mm-hmm. I tried to see the humor in everything. That's for sure. I think that's pretty much the only way I know how to operate. That'd be the big one. See the humor in everything, and I try just not to sweat the small stuff. Yeah,
so having fun and treating people well.
Exactly.
Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, just be a good person, and I think it all comes back around.
What's like your biggest screw up? Like, man, if I had that to do over again, I might do it a little differently.
I don't know. I don't know if I would consider it a screw up, but going through college the first time, I didn't get my degree in weather. Mm-hmm. And that's just because I didn't know I wanted to be a weather person at the time. So I don't know, it'd be nice on the old checkbook if I would have realized that I wanted to do this first time around, but I learned a lot actually going to college and getting my first degree, so I don't know if I'd call that a screw up. Yeah, it would just be nice to have gotten
a little more clarity sooner.
I guess you could say that.
Doesn't hurt.
Yeah, exactly. It helps to know what you're doing right out of the gate.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Lunch, and I was, big fancy lunch, I was meeting important people, and I walked up to a woman, and I said, hi, nice to meet you, my name is Nick. And she said, hi, Nick, your zipper's down. Nice to meet you, too. And it was in front of a bunch of very important people.
I gotcha.
So, that was a little embarrassing.
That's memorable, yeah.
I've always just loved to get involved with kids' projects. And more recently, now that I know a young lady with cancer, you know, kids that are dealing with unfortunate circumstances. I'm not saying that adults don't need help. Sometimes adults need more help than kids, I think, but I always get behind anything with kids or raising money for school or.
What's the biggest headache? Like you get up in the morning, oh man, I got to do this again.
Getting up in the morning.
At
2:30.
So what's your schedule like? Like walk me through next day.
Wake up at 2:15 a.m. Take a shower, get ready, leave the house by 3. We bring our kid to the station, and he's usually up and crying. So.
And how old's he?
2.
Okay.
So we put him in the crib. I spend 2 hours making my forecast and putting the graphics together. Go on the air at 5:30. Do that until 7. Weather cut-ins. short blurbs of weather up until about 9 a.m. Post clips from our show onto the website, log temperatures from the day, and make graphics for the next day. Then sometimes I stay and do the noon show, and then I'm off by 12:30. Go to sleep at about 7 p.m. I would say it's actually easier to work with my wife than probably anybody else, actually. You know, if we have a bad day, we're very good at not letting that come into work, actually. And also, we're kind of on the same wavelength, you know, the same level, so it makes the band. Say, people that are in college, this I guess would be like advice / pet peeve. You can't just go and get a degree. Usually that's not good enough. You have to get real world experience. You know, you've got to kind of go above and beyond. So I would say that would be.
So would you say that it might be a good idea for somebody to spend time not only doing job shadowing but apprenticeship stuff, and like go really find out what doing that job is like.
Totally.
Because I know a lot of the junior high kids, they go, oh yeah, I did a job shadow. And it's like, what did you do? Oh, I went to an attorney's office for 2 hours.
Yeah.
And what you're saying is that's probably not enough.
Probably not. No, I mean, you know, it's kind of it is what you make it. A lot of people told me in this job business that you know, you can't. It's hard to go far. You can blah blah blah. But
it's competitive.
Very competitive. You know, it's getting a job on TV is like, you know, getting a spot on a professional baseball team. But I think if you do enough hard work, you know, I read a statistic somewhere that says if you do something for 10,000 hours, you're officially a pro at that thing. So there are no such thing as naturals. It all just comes down to who does what more. And they a big study. It was in a book called Freakonomics, actually, and that really stuck with me. You know, you look at somebody and you think, wow, they're a fantastic piano player. They must have been born with that ability, but really they just had the passion or the willpower to do it more than most of the people around them, enough to where they've achieved that level of mastery. So I just, you know, even if you're doing whatever you want to do that thing and do it as much as you possibly can.
And the fact that you care and the fact that you enjoy it.
Yeah,
always helps you put the hours in.
Yes.
Because it's hard to put in 10,000 hours on stuff you hate. Questions for me.
Have you ever been bitten by a snake or any other reptile?
I was holding a 2-year-old who got bit by a snake. Does that count?
That will give you a half point for that.
Matter of fact, I think in elementary school they were trying to get me bit. They had a there was a, because I wasn't as nice a kid as you. They had a pet monitor lizard. Yeah. Like a 5 or 6 footer. And I was like a second grader, and they'd have me walk them around the halls and stuff just to get me out of the classroom. And they had like a 6-foot boa. And I'd like be walking this, you know, take him to the classroom so the kids could pet him, and he was wrapped around my chest and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, here, just take the snake. And I think they were trying to get rid of me, but not actually bit.